The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
Issues of the day indeed, live from Dunedin. Hello to you, T-Radar.
Yes, live from Dunedin, and what a beautiful day it is too. Certainly a lot nicer than it was when I arrived here on Sunday. It's a bit bloody cold, all right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
A bit of a chill all around the country. Upsetting my pumpkins, I think.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit early on getting the pumpkins out.
Oh, and so the delicate little tendrils have been nipped in the bud.
Yeah. Not happy. Not happy.
No.
Now, last week we were talking about Dunedin with the redevelopment of the stadium there and the cranes.
Yes.
People still taking them for joyrides?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I did look across the harbour and see it sort of going up into the place. Of course, the people of Dunedin clearly not over the moon about it because they've just voted in a new mayor. Peter Chin gone, obviously part of that sort of, I guess, kickback against that large sort of spending that we're having for the World Cup. And you're looking at it all and you think, oh, this is a great new stadium, there's going to be a couple of games played there, but I'm sure it'll be nicer than Carisbrook. But at the same time, all over the country, these stadiums are popping up and you think, oh, I hope we're not going to be India.
But at least they get a new one. I mean, I saw the opening of the Eden Park thing the other day on the telly with John Key was there and Len Brown, of course, the new Super City mayor. And the camera did a sweep around and I went, it doesn't look any different. It looks exactly like it used to. What's changed?
Yeah, so I think maybe they were filming from the wrong side. Yeah, or were they filming from the middle?
Yeah, from the middle. I mean, it looks the same to me. Yeah,
it all looks the same. Stadiums are stadiums. There are good stadiums and bad stadiums, but at the end of the day, there's no cheap stadiums.
That is true. That is true.
I'm quite happy with that statement. I'm just surprised myself at this time of the morning.
Copyright that one.
Yeah, may well do that. Yes, and hopefully there won't be sort of any appalling behaviour there. Every so often as a New Zealander, you look at something in the paper and you think, oh, we are an embarrassment. And I was looking at something, there was a group of New Zealanders called the 100 Club who turned up to the Oktoberfest in Munich last week. Yeah. And and New Zealanders got, and Australians in particular, a pretty bad reputation at Oktoberfest. There's lots of people out there who go, yeah, we're going to go to Oktoberfest, get really drunk, and everyone else in the world goes, oh, no. And, I'd even heard that they created separate zones for us, so embarrassing is our nature of intoxication. But this particular group goes on sort of a bit of a road trip, and then they end up there, and they essentially it's the worst of the worst kinds of drinking games that teenagers and university students play, having to sit at a table and drink shots of beer every minute. You're not allowed to wear underpants, and if anything comes out of your body from any real area, that you're forced to consume it.
I mean,
you just think, well,
oh God. I mean, I agree, appalling behaviour, but isn't that what Oktoberfest is all about? Isn't it about just drinking copious amounts of beer? Isn't that what?
Well, I think so, but I think there's drinking copious amounts of beer, and then there's being forced to sort of do beer bongs and drink your own urine. Yeah.
I think they learnt that at Lincoln University.
Yeah, yeah. But they may, yes, there are other universities as well, but certainly some of those ones in the past have been linked to that. You just kind of look at it and you just think, oh God,
It's just look. I know you're an old-fashioned sort of character, T-Radar. You prefer, you appreciate your old-fashioned values, and isn't this all just the part of the degradation of society, the loss of politeness, the loss of decency,
the loss of just common good manners and good behaviour? You're absolutely right. And the whole Paul Henry and Michael Laws thing in the last couple of weeks. In particular, talking about the Governor General. Michael Laws describing him in sort of, as an incredibly fat man and going on at length about it. You just thought, you have the right to say that to an extent, but what's wrong with a bit of common courtesy? What's wrong with some decency? Sort of just lambast people for that sort of thing. It's just juvenile and petty. I'm afraid, and I can tell you firsthand, being nice doesn't rate. Do you rate? No, look, no. See, I disagree. Because, depending, I guess, on the medium, I guess. Well, then again, I guess I'm doing Sunday nights at 7:00 family viewing, where I need to be nice. You've got to rate with the children and the grandparents.
You must have done something nasty to get into that slot, though, T-Radar.
I must have done, yes. But will it prohibit me? We're all going to be putting our CVs in for a new job in the mornings. We're going to have you whipped away to have you appear visually next to Pippa on the couch.
Oh, perish the thought.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see how they go with.
Yeah.
Yes, nonetheless. It's new jobs for everyone all around the country, of course, new mayors. And story of the week now, in terms of politeness, cultural clashes always bring out the sort of the most vitriolic in people. Now, there's an interesting one that's made the news this morning. There's a ban on any woman who's pregnant or menstruating from sort of visiting one of Te Papa's collections at the moment.
Goodness, why?
It's a collection of it's a collection of Māori taonga. So, and that part of their thing is, because some of these treasures have been used in war or they've killed people, then it's bad sort of karma, I suppose, for women who are pregnant or menstruating to be anywhere near them. So, in order to protect the women, they're banned from doing it. So that'll be a bit of a hoo-ha, I would suspect, this week, a clash of cultural values.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's there to be respected. But how will they know? Will there be like a temperature gauge at the? No,
I think it's sort of in a backstage collection area, if you know what I mean. So, sort of regional museum staff have been allowed to go on a behind-the-scenes tour, and they're expecting, I think, people simply to be honest.
Okay.
A bit of honesty.
Well, you won't be there won't be a thermometer you have to put in your mouth. Okay.
No, or a thermal imaging scan or anything like that. No,
right.
No, not like when you come through the customs and to see if you've got the flu.
Mm.
No, I don't think so. So, yes, that'll provoke, I suspect, in the next couple of days, a little bit of interesting cultural debate. The trade me notice boards, those bastions of sophisticated and urban debate, will light up.
Talking about things...
Urban debate. I said urban. Is it Carl Urban debate?
I think so. Talking about things, temperature rising and whatnot, things were fever pitch at the Labour Party meeting last night.
Yes, they were. The decision whether or not to expel Chris Carter, and he didn't stay long enough to see whether he was going to be expelled. I guess they said, look, we're going to have a bit of a chat about this, Chris, and he snuck out again. Chris Carter has the most wonderful way of escaping the media. He still won't tell anyone how he did it in Parliament the other day, out through sort of a back window, and again last night slipped out, and he slunk away from the media, and stayed up till 11:30 apparently, and no one rang him to let him know what happened, so he went to bed, and he found out on the radio this morning that he'd been expelled. Apparently, I think Andrew Little or someone like that, the Labour Party president, said, oh, look, we've contacted his representatives to let him know.
Yeah.
And obviously, perhaps they never then contacted him. We don't really know, but he was on the news this morning being a little bit miffed about that. But then again, I don't think he's really got all that much, I suspect that his feeling of miffedness is probably slightly less than their feeling of miffedness.
I mean, he's the one who wrote the pretty childish letter.
Yes, he was, and still fails to comprehend what his major flaw was. That the fact that it's all of this sort of junketing around all over the world. You weren't the foreign minister, you weren't the minister of trade, you were the minister of education. And while that is a sort of a business, jumping off all over the place and trips here and trips there, I think people, it happened at a time when people went, hang on, we're all tightening our belts, we're all losing our jobs, there's a recession going on, and yet you're still snuffling your way through that trough.
No doubt. All will be revealed in that book as well, T. Radar.
Oh, yes. Looking forward to that, actually. And I think there's been some correspondence with Helen at the UN over there, where she is at the moment, as to what may or may not be in it. And he'll have plenty of time to do that in the next little while.
Indeed. Thanks very much, T. Radar. Enjoy the rest of your time in Dunedin. We will do.
I will.
Okay. See ya. T. Radar there with issues of the day.